Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Y'all like the content that I've been dropping? I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with anybody you think may benefit from them, alright? Now I know y'all seen I ain't really made no uploads recently. That's because your boy right here been going ahead and handling a lot of business, man. I'm kind of excited about 2021 due to the fact that I'm like getting myself into a real strong position. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Lawrence Thomas for giving me some good information. I ain't gonna really talk about it too much right now, but just know that I got a whole bunch of things cooking, and like things that would help me improve my life and my financial situation took precedence over me making these videos. I mean, once again, I'm not getting paid for this shit. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody really shot me no money yet or got my views up to the point where I can put this as my main focus. So of course, priorities are always important in life, right? So now that I got a little bit of downtime, I wanted to come back and hit y'all with some good content. So to all my loyal supporters, sorry for the brief hiatus, but you already know it's business, never personal. So let's go ahead and get to today's topic, which is going to be financial literacy or the lack thereof, or financial literacy and the lack thereof. So let's go ahead and start out with a definition of what financial literacy is, because many people just simply don't have it, let's be honest. So financial literacy is defined as the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including financial management, budgeting, and investing. All right, so let's go ahead and be honest, man. Most people, I even do this just to gauge where people are like mentally with money by asking them, hey, what would you do with $1 million? Like, be honest, man. Most people will straight up start mentioning liabilities or things that are subtracting their worth. So they'll take the $1 million, they'll explain how they'll buy, some a nice house. Let's say it's valued at $250,000. Well, $750,000 you have left now. Then you gotta remember, they'll say, I'm gonna get me a car. All right, let's say it's $100,000 worth, $350,000 gone. You sitting on $650. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh, I'll buy my mom a house. Oh, so that's another $250 gone. So now what you got left? You got $300,000 left, or $400,000 left. Yeah, what about your clothes and stuff? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get fresh, Balenciaga, the drip, da 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 da. Okay, so now you about to spend another, let's say 50 racks on your wardrobe to look like you got money. Okay, now you down to what, 350,000. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh yeah, well, then I'll probably invest, do this, do that. All right, now, given that example, did you hear anything about furnishing the house that he said he was gonna buy? So you can go ahead and subtract that. That's like a hidden cost that most people wouldn't even consider until you actually bring it up verbally. What about the taxes for the house, the rent, or not rent, but the utilities? What about if anything goes wrong with the house? All right, so now you got one car you mentioned, but you got this big fancy house. Will one car suffice, or are you gonna feel like you want to get another one? You see how, like, all right, whatever car you get, let's think about the insurance for that car. Let's think about the gas cost that's gonna cost, or the gas prices for that car. Let's think about the storage for that vehicle, the maintenance. You get you a fancy ass whip from, let's say you get a Ferrari. Have you ever seen how much a Ferrari oil change costs? Let's say somebody hit you with a little fender bender. How much is that really gonna cost you for the deductible on your insurance? Like, then you said you're gonna get your mama a house. You can go ahead and take all the expenses that we just talked about for the first house and just go ahead and link that to the second. Before you know it, you have no money left. And you talking about you gonna invest. But invest in what? See, this is the reason why I'm about to talk about financial literacy, because I'm gonna give y'all like a couple things that open my mind to how finance works. And then I'm going to give you like a real life example, not using my exact wages or my exact salary, but I'm going to give you an idea of how you can actually turn whatever sum of money you have into a large amount just by being very, let's say, wise and frugal with your spending habits. All right. So the first thing that kind of like really opened me up to how money works was back when I was a little kid, I used to get a little allowance. And this was actually due to the fact that I was always taking the initiative to keep my mom's place very clean. My room was never an issue. My mom never had to like get in there and yell at me to make my bed. Like inherent in my nature is the desire to just be very clean and take control of whatever environment I'm in. I mean, literally, even in Iraq, my room was pristine. You know, you can put me anywhere and I'm pretty much going to put my signature touch on it. So that's neither here nor there about my cleanliness, but by taking the initiative to take out trash, clean up the room, do the dishes right after dinner was cooked, even cook dinner, fold clothes, make sure that our bathroom was always clean, wipe the toilet, like doing stuff like that. I kind of asked my mom, can I get an allowance? And she was down. Now what I did was I started saving all my little change here and there or little money that I would make, and I would just feel so confident with the fact that I had money. Like I realized money is like a great equalizer, you know what I mean? I don't have to ask my mom for the little chips right there. I got the money since I have an allowance. You know, I don't really have to ask my mom for everything that I think about wanting to have, because if I budget and I save and I like space out my allowance payments, I can probably afford it my damn self, right? And just that independence that you can gain by having like a control of your own money. I just love that feeling from a young age. So that was like the first catalyst that made me understand, okay, finances are important. Second thing was when I got my first part-time job. Now, you guys might have heard in my prior videos, I worked for Fazoli's. I was like 16 years old. I worked there from like 16 to about, I was like just about to turn 17 when I got the job, and then I worked there for like 5-6 months, right? And I quit on my homecoming. That's neither here nor there. You can check out one of my other videos on that. But like getting my first check and going to the mall with my boys and seeing how they spent their money versus like me wanting to kind of hold on to the money I had. You know, I remember it was $207, but the first thing I did is I took the $107 and I went up to the bank and I opened up, I think it was a club account. And at that time, they were paying like 4% interest on any money that you put in. And you had to have, I think, a minimum of like $100. So I put that little $107 in there, boom. And every single time I got paid, I would just try to round off whatever. So like, let's say I made $323. Then I would take $150 for myself, half of it for myself, right, for spending. And then the other, let's say $173 that's remaining from the little $350 check or $323 check, I'll put into the club account, right? And I just saw how the money was accumulating, and I was liking that. And to get the money out of the account, I couldn't use my debit card. I had to physically go into the bank to sit down. I had to like make like a little appointment, take a number, sit down with one of the bank managers and explain that I want to withdraw the money from the account. And that was like a little signature and this and that. So there was like a deterrent for me just blowing the money. And what I noticed is when I quit my job, like I looked in there was like a good $1,000 in there. And I'm like, damn, like I got $1,000 amassed to my name and I'm only 17. All right. Other examples are also there, like being in the military, you know, getting my first car, paying it off a year and 7 months early just from making principal payments, you know, just being wise with money, right? Now, the big thing is that motivates me is a concept called FIRE. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this, but FIRE basically means financial independence, retire early. All right, so it's the idea of taking, for example, the age that you will retire at and then looking at the age you are now and looking at that number. All right. So for me, for example, I will retire at 65. Just if I worked a normal job, everything else equal, I'd work until I'm 65, right? Hopefully being able to retire at that point and collect some type of social security or whatever the hell. So I got 30 years until I'm 65 since I'm 35. Then I take my expenses, right? Which would, let's say, for all just intents and purposes, let's say it's $10,000, right? So I take the $10,000, then I multiply it by the 30. That gives me a sum of $300,000. The idea of FIRE is you need to have at least $300,000 put away into your put away into investments, and you can live off 4% of that money as like your own salary that you're paying to yourself. And that's how you achieve financial independence and being able to retire early. You know, because the thing is, you're technically able to retire. You're collecting 4% of your own money, you know, on a monthly basis or whatever you see fit. But the thing is, you're still young enough to work or expand on a business or do anything else. So any additional money is just plus. And now you're able to actually be financially free. You see? So that's the goal of FIRE. And that's what motivates my thinking now. But let's go ahead and put it into like real context. Now, like I said, my videos ain't monetized. I'm not getting no money for this. So I'm not about to go through the headache of putting all the numbers on the screen and having it all laid out. This is just game. Now, if you want to take a piece of paper out and kind of take notes on what I'm about to say, that's cool. But for the most part, when my stuff gets monetized, I'll start being more vigilant about giving you guys like a layout that you could just follow real easy. Now, let's say I make $50,000 a year, right? If like, not even really getting into all the taxes and stuff, I'm just trying to give you guys a flat number. All right, so $50,000 a year. If we break that down per month, that's $4,166. If we break that down to a bi-weekly check, that's $2,083, right? Now, how my money is set up now, how I basically handle it as soon as it comes in, I'm gonna break it down. The first thing is 4% of my check before taxes goes straight into a 401k. If you don't know anything about 401k, it's an awesome investment vehicle for people who are just working. Because the thing is, number one, it lowers your taxable income, so you're gonna pay less tax. Second of all, it's automatically deducted. So you're not even thinking about the money. It's not like you have to look at the money and go, oh dang, now I gotta put 4%. No, it's coming out automatically. So it kind of keeps you from making a silly decision if you're a person who can't like handle money. Another thing is, most of the time, your employer will match up to a certain percent, which I'm saying is 4% in my case. So I come with 4%, my employer comes with 4%. That's 8% right there. Then you got to think it gets invested usually into some type of fund, which is probably going to give you about 20% interest. So 401k is just smart, right? So that's where some of my money goes to. If you think about it, based on that little percentage on what I just told you, that comes out to about $166.64 per month, which is about $88.32 every 2 weeks. That's coming out of my check. But see, since my employer matches it, you can basically take that amount and double it. And at the end of the year, like if it was me without getting an employer to match it, I'd have $1,999.68. But since my employer matches it, it's $3,099.36. That's awesome. You know what I mean? In 1 year, and that's just a little 4% that I'm not even seeing. So already we got like 4 racks. Then what I do is I take 36% of my, let's say, salary, and I put it straight into stocks, which is, I prefer index funds, right? Now, that comes out to $1,499.76 per month. Every 2 weeks, that's $749.88. Now, the stock market usually will get you, I'm giving you a flat number, about 7% interest. That's what I'm seeing on my index fund. At least 7% interest I'm getting on average. So that's coming out to, let's say, if you think about the $1,499 I'm getting, that I'm investing in it per month, and then you multiply that by 12, that's $17,997. But then if you add in the little 7% interest, which I'm just giving you the flat, it's actually more than this, but I'm just giving you the flat, as if you just at the end of the year get one time 7% interest, but actually you get 7% interest as long as the money's in the account. I'd get an additional $1,259.79. So at the end, I'd have $19,256.91 just from putting 36% into the stock market. The other thing I do, which is making a killing right now, I take 37.7% and I put it into crypto. All right, y'all know about cryptocurrency. I'm not gonna go into that. I might have to make another video about why it's a pretty solid investment, but I have 5 different types of crypto. Right, so that comes out to about $1,570.58 per month on every 2 weeks. That's $785.29, right? Now, every time I look at my portfolio, I'm getting at least 125% interest or return on investment. So if you take the little $1,570.58 and you multiply that on an annual term, like 12 months, I have $18,846.98. But then if you add the 125% interest, which comes out to $23,558.72, my end total just from the money I invested in crypto would be $42,405.70. Now, coming down to, I put 12% into my Roth IRA. All right, Roth IRA, the maximum amount that you can put into it every year is $6,000. So what I do is I put almost $500 a month, which comes out to about $249 and some change every 2 weeks. That gets about 2.2% interest. So if you take the $500 that I make plus a little 2%, or the 12 months that I put it in, it comes out to almost $6,000. It's $5,099.04. $5,999.04. With the 2% interest, it gets an additional $131.97. So at the end, I have $6,131.01. And then the rest of the money comes out to about 14%. 7% goes into my savings, 7% goes into spending. So that comes out to about $583.24 per month, which is about $291.62 bi-weekly. And this is per account. So if you do the math on that, that's $583.24 multiplied by 12, that's $6,998.88. If you add everything I just put right there, I started out with $50,000 as my salary. But if you add everything that I just said collectively, you wind up with $78,791.86. So that's an additional $28,791.86. And that's just coming from being financially savvy. Now, the thing is, let's say I spend $20,000 of that. Let's say I spend $30,000 of that. If I spend $30,000 of the $50,000 I have, do you guys understand that my end balance will still be about $48,000 or $49,000, even though I'm only getting $50,000? And why is that? It's only because I'm investing. You see, so starting out with $50,000, I end up with $78,000, but even if I spend $30,000, I'm still right about what I got. And that's what rich people do. That's the reason why most people who make money, even if you gave them millions of dollars, they would just blow it on liabilities. You give me $1 million, let's bring it back full circle. You give me $1 million. The first thing I'm gonna do is split it up into a whole bunch of investments. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna live off the dividends. Seriously, I'll just live off the dividends. And honestly, I'm still gonna keep working. Because by keep working, I know that I have financial freedom. So let's say I want $1 million right now. I'm 35, right? I'll work at least until I'm, let's say, 40, 45. I'll be working and on the side trying to start a business. The $1 million, I'm gonna have so smart invested that every time I get dividends, I'm just gonna reinvest it back into itself. By the time I fucking stop working, let's say I just don't want to work at all. I just want to put my arms up and just chill on an island and just chill in the sun all day, which I'm not gonna do because that's malaise. That's when you actually start to decline as a human if you don't have a purpose. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, that's what I would do. If I work for another 5 to 10 years and I have the money reinvesting into itself, do y'all understand I'm probably gonna have upwards of 2 or even 3 million? Just from the simple fact that I'm not touching the principal. And even when I decide, let me start cashing out on my original $1 million, I'm just gonna be living off the dividends. So that's neither here nor there. What y'all need to understand is investing is very important. And understanding how money works is what is gonna put you ahead of the game. We living in a world where it's all about consumerism. Everybody just blowing money on just liabilities. Oh man, check out these Louis Vuitton shoes. Yeah, okay, but what's that bringing you? You don't own any stock of Louis Vuitton, but you got the $800 pair of loafers on. All it's gonna get you is a head turn and those are some cool shoes. Dang, you dropped that bread, but you don't own none of the stock. Get paid for your money. Make your money work for you. All right, so with that being said, that's my little topic on financial literacy. Like, comment, subscribe, and holler back.